Hello everybody, how are we all doing? Welcome to That's Football. It's West Ham against Arsenal. It's a relegation decider. It's a title decider. It is. It is. Don't listen to the nonsense. This is probably the biggest game of the season. I know there are still games to go, but I think from an Arsenal perspective, with Burnley and Crystal Palace to play, I think they win both those games. If Arsenal do not win this game today, they open the door up to Man City, of course. And I think with West Ham, where it is at the bottom of the table as well, let's just get that on the screen for you as well. I think for West Ham, I'm sort of working on the assumption that we will see Spurs win 2 of their last 3, which puts them onto 43, which means West Ham have to get something from this. Otherwise, it's a 7-point gap. Remember, Spurs have got Everton at home and Everton at home and Leeds at home. I think they'll win both of those. So that puts them onto 43. West Ham would be 7 points behind with 3 games to go. They've got to get something today. Absolutely got to get something today. If they don't, I think they're down. So that's where we are with that. Welcome to the show, everybody. How do you approach this game if you're West Ham? Look, there's some people have said, you're a master tactician when you're the underdog. What would you do? And I've said, yes, you're right. You are right. Sit down and listen. I think that what you've got to do if you're West Ham, because you've got to not lose, is you've got to work ridiculously hard without the ball. You've got to be compact, and you've got to try and when you get the ball, have a plan to get up the pitch quickly and create things like set pieces and corners. But they've got to defend ridiculously well. They've got to be well organised. But the problem you've got is you're against a team like Arsenal, who are very used to playing against these types of tactics and obviously are very good at scoring goals and not conceding. So compact, hard-working, and they've got to win their duels. Aerial duels, defensive duels, they've got to win them. It's going to be hard for West Ham, but you certainly don't approach and you don't open the game up. Yes, it would be great for West Ham to win, but you don't open the game up. That's the worst thing you can do because you will get absolutely battered. Arsenal will be favourites to win this game, yes. I think if they win this game, they win the league. And, I know a few Arsenal fans and they're like, well, you never know. Burnley might turn up. Yeah. And bloody, yeah. Burnley won't turn up. I nearly said something quite crude. Burnley won't turn up. And Crystal Palace, last game of the season, will have a final coming up. So you will win the league if you win today, Arsenal. You will win. I think this is your last big test. Andre says, this is it. Totally decides the Premier League. Hopefully the team delivers. Exactly, mate. Exactly. And talking about delivering, goes under the desk. Don't get too excited. We are sponsored by Manscaped, but you'll never see that. We are sponsored by Manscaped on the show. We've been supported by Manscaped for a while, and we love them here on That's Football. And I've got an exclusive Manscaped spring update. I'm excited to introduce the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra in new desert sand. Look at the colour on that. Look at the texture on that. For some reason, it's not focusing in. There we go. Probably better from there. I don't know why it's not got the... Maybe if I move my face. There we go. You get the text. It's my beautiful face. It wants to focus on that. There we go. Lovely focus on that. Really good grip. Lovely stuff. It's got a bit of a sandy feel to it for the grip as well. Next gen skin safe blade heads. 1 trimmer blade and 1 full blade for flawless performance. Special edition rugged style with precision performance. I have this trimmer and it's absolutely awesome. Switching between the two is easy, giving you the versatility you need. It's like having 2 trimmers in one. They've also upgraded their LED light. Oh, Carol, sorry, I've done it again. It has got a light on it. There's the lights. So you go down there, but it bloody lights up everywhere. So even if it's small, you'll still be able to see it with the light. Can't turn the lights off now. Carol, I've got to turn that off because she'll be too excited. Karen. Anyway, yeah, LED light, no more fumbling about. Those tricky spots are properly lit up now. Just imagine moving the bag and then having a look underneath it. There we go. Exclusively to our That's Football community, you can get the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra in desert sand with an incredible 15% off, plus free shipping with the code FOOTY at manscaped.com/thatsfootball. The link is in the description. Join the over 13 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped for all their grooming needs and get the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra in colourway desert sand while supplies last. Comes in a lovely presentation case with your 2 different ways of shaving. Absolutely fantastic. There it is. Get it now. You get 15% off and free worldwide shipping with the code footy. It's that simple. Thank you very much to Manscaped. Constantine says, where were you when the Invincibles last won it in 2004? It would be nice to see somebody else win it other than Man City, Liverpool. History will be made today. You know what? 22 years ago, I was in my 20s. I remember Arsenal winning the Invincibles, and to be honest with you, it wasn't that big a deal. I mean, people didn't sit down and say, I can't believe it. It was 12 draws. They drew 12 games out of 38. They got obsessed with being unbeaten. They did very well to do it, but I don't think it got the respect of a treble. I didn't even, to be honest with you, I remember saying at the time, I think the 98 team's better than this when they won the double. So Arsenal fans get very protective of the Invincibles. That's absolutely fine. But as a non-Arsenal fan who watched the Invincibles, I actually thought it became a bit of an obsession to stay unbeaten and stop them playing good football. I actually preferred the 98 team that won the double. Begrudgingly, I respected them. They played good football and they were the best team in England that year. I mean, they were the best team in England in 2004, but the competition was a bit shit as well. United were crap at that point. I think Liverpool had gone off the boil. Chelsea weren't even on the boil at that point because they hadn't had Mourinho. And they drew 12 games. They were a very good team, Arsenal, but they didn't win any other cups that year. Didn't win the Champions League, didn't win the FA Cup, didn't win the Carabao Cup. It was just very much about going unbeaten, and it may never get done again, and it does deserve respect, but it wasn't the best Arsenal side I've seen, and I've said that consistently. It has only been draws today. Does that mean another draw, says Fitz? Yeah, 3 draws today. I mean, look, just as the players come out, I'll have a look at the screen. We'll have a look at the lineups in a minute, but look at the race for 6th. Brentford obviously lost last night. They're now 4 points off Bournemouth. Chelsea have 6 points off Bournemouth. Everton drew. They've sort of blown their chance of getting into the 6th spot. It's looking like it's Brighton or Bournemouth now for the 6th spot. Maybe Brentford, but they have got to go to Anfield, so that makes it very difficult. Bournemouth, of course, have got to play Manchester City, which is still a big game in the race for Champions League spots and also in the race for the European spots. I think it's really interesting. I think the title could be done, relegation could be done, but the race for 6th place becomes very interesting. Although Villa have to be in 5th for that to happen, and as we know, Villa play Liverpool next Friday night. So if Villa win that, it's at Villa Park, they go into 4th, which means Liverpool finish 5th, which means 6th is not a Champions League spot. So I actually, it's harsh on Bournemouth and Brighton. Brighton go to Leeds next week, Bournemouth play Man City next week, and then on the final day, Brighton host Manchester United, and Bournemouth go to Nottingham Forest. So lots to play for, but Villa will lose their last game. Villa will lose their last game to Manchester City, I think. Liverpool host Brentford. So even if Villa beat Liverpool have got a better goal difference. So it could still happen. I am really quite excited about that. I do want Villa to finish 5th now so that 6th place goes to a Champions League spot, because I'd love to see Bournemouth or Brighton in the Champions League. I think it'd just be really intriguing for us next season. My mate who supports Spurs wants Arsenal to win. Solar Panel, thank you very much for your super chat. Let's just have a quick look at the teams. Please do share the video as well, everybody who's watching. We'll start off with the Arsenal side, as you can see on the screen there. Not really any massive changes or shocks for Arsenal, if we're being completely honest. Raya, White, Saliba, Gabriel, Calafiore, 4 centre-backs. Eze, no, Calafiore is not a centre-back. Eze, Rice, Lewis Skelly, Saka, Gyökeres, Trossard. Odegaard is on the bench. Zubamendi back on the bench. Lewis Skelly forcing him out. I think that's very good. West Ham, Hermansen, Disasi, Todibo, Mavropanos. They've got to play well. Wan-Bissaka, Diop, Soucek, Fernandes, Bowen, Somerville, and Castellanos. I mean, look, that West Ham side is a decent Premier League side. I mean, it's not a top 10 team, but it's not a championship side. Have they left it too late? We're about to find out. They've got to get something out of this. Declan Rice against his former club. But it is a weird situation. I don't know whether we've got any Spurs fans tuning in. You have to want Arsenal to beat West Ham, which means Arsenal will win the league. You can't really even risk a draw, although a draw would probably still be a good result for Spurs because West Ham would be level on points, but they've got the much better goal difference. So maybe if you're a Spurs fan, you want to draw. Maybe that's what you're looking at. Tom Port says, I like your shirt, Mark. I don't really wear this very often, actually. It's yeah, it is that one. I'm wearing something similar tomorrow, but it's not this shirt. Baller League tomorrow. Top of the table, NDL, managed by Nico against the Gold Devils tomorrow. We're game 3, so we'll be on at about 7 o'clock on Sky and on YouTube. You can watch my channel. I think people are really missing out on watching Baller League on my channel because I'm the only manager that wears a microphone and has a camera following me. And there was a very interesting reveal at the end of the game on Friday when we beat SDS. There was a controversial refereeing decision. I'm mic'd up. I think everybody forgets. I always forget I'm mic'd up. I'm mic'd up. I go over and thank the referee. And there was a very big reveal. So it's always worth it. Like I always say, you can watch the Baller League stream. But if you watch my stream, you get the same feed. But when we play, you get me match pitch side. And you get a lot of interesting stuff on the audio. And there was a very interesting reveal. Anyway, we're up and running here. We've spoken a lot about West Ham. How do Arsenal do today? Fulham, very attacking. Atletico Madrid, very well organised. What do you do if you're Arteta? I mean, of course, a draw, they'd still be top. I think they'd still be top. Obviously, the funny thing is, I was right. I did say Man City will score goals. 3-0 last night. Their goal difference is only 1 behind Arsenal. So if this was a draw and City beat Palace on Wednesday by a few goals, they'll be top. So that's an added thing. I've heard some people saying a draw's not a bad result for Arsenal. It is. You go to 77. It's better if this is on the screen when I do it. Yeah, you go to 77 points. Palace, game in hand for Man City, they go to 77. They're only 1 goal behind you. They win that game 3 or 4-0. Trouble. You know, you're praying Bournemouth beat them or get a draw. So, yeah, there's got to be a win. Is there a bit of a kick clash here, Mark? Not really. They're wearing the same colours, just in a different order, but not really. Best England goalie since Shilton and Clements, says France. Seaman. David Seaman was a good goalkeeper in his prime. Yeah, if you're a Spurs fan, let us know. Probably going for a draw, aren't you? A draw, and I think you still stay up, and a draw, and Arsenal might not win the league. I think. What's your prediction, Mark? I think Arsenal will win it. Yeah. Did you see the big Tonali versus Anderson battle? Both were quite good today and should be the most attractive available midfielders in the summer. I didn't see any of the game at 2 o'clock, to be honest with you, because I was out for lunch. And yeah, but I mean, look, 3 draws. Forest 1, Newcastle 1, Palace 2, Everton 2, and Burnley 2, Villa 2. It doesn't really help anybody, does it? Any of those results, really. In relation to the bottom, I think Forest are... Well, they're not quite safe, Forest, to be fair. 43 points isn't safe. It's not safe because West Ham, unless West Ham lose here, it's not safe. Forest are safe if West Ham lose. But Leeds, I mean, Forest have got United away, where I think we'll beat them, and then they've got Bournemouth at home, where they might get beat. So... yeah. I mean, it's incredible that Forest aren't safe yet, because in their last 6 games, they've got 4 wins and 2 draws, which shows you how they've pulled away, really. Leeds, the same. 3 draws, 3 wins, unbeaten in their last 6, both on 43. But neither are safe yet if West Ham get a draw here. If West Ham don't draw, then obviously they're on 30. Oh, hold on a minute. Yeah, they'll be on 36. So they can only get to 42. Ryle says, considering the result today, what are the chances you could do a watch-along between Hearts and Celtic? I think that would be massively hypocritical just to tune in for the last game of the season and pretend I know what I'm on about. I think Celtic will win it anyway. I've always said I don't think Hearts will win it, which will be harsh on Hearts because they've been top for so long, but last game of the season against Celtic at Celtic, I think Celtic will beat them. Andre says, do you think the pressure will get to either of these two teams? Look, West Ham will want to win, but to be fair, a draw gives them half a chance. I was looking at the league table there. Their goal difference is minus 19, which is absolutely terrible compared to anybody else. So they're probably going to be okay if you Forest and your Leeds with 43. They've got minus 5 and minus 2. West Ham's goal difference is just the killer, really. Considering the result today, says Ryle, who are the chances you can do a watch? I've done that one, haven't I? Thank you very much. Thanks everyone who's tuning in, by the way. Please do share the video. We've got nearly 10,000 people watching already. Bod says, why have they gone with these kits? They're absolutely terrible. I don't know whether there's any alternatives, really. West Ham will always want to wear their home kit. So have Arsenal got a third kit that they could have worn? I presume that's is this their third kit? I don't know. Arsenal third kit is this. Arsenal away kit is blue. I mean, they could have worn the blue kit. I suppose there's less of a contrast, isn't there? I suppose the blue kit is quite dark. So I think they've made the right choice. Rub says, come on, Hammers, do it for Daddy Lamps. Back three is Chelsea DNA. I would love Alonso so much, says Max. I tweeted it today. I think whoever gets Iriola is making the most exciting signing of the summer. I mean, you've got a guy that's 6th in the Premier League with playing great football, who's rebuilt 2 teams, works with a Poundland budget. I just think I'm not saying it would work, I'm just saying it's the most exciting deal. I mean, there's always a risk. There was a risk with Klopp, wasn't there? But at least Iriola's managed in the Prem. NZ says Lynx Africa was our away kit last season. This is the Arsenal third kit, apparently. Best 3 Premier League stadiums as fan experiences, amen. Well, everyone can get involved in that. I still think Old Trafford's the best. I am biased, but, you know, that traditional old style Old Trafford still makes it the best for me. Trossard here. Nice little ball into Calafiori. He may as well shoot. Oh, over the bar. Good bit of defending there. I think he got caught in 2 minds. I think the ball by Trossard was so good. I think he was going to be in the channel looking for a cross. But the curl on this by Trossard actually takes it into a shot. Look, outside of the boot. It's such a good ball. It curls in. He basically plays one of the assists of the season. I think Calafiori thinks that's going to go straight. And then he's going to be looking at a cross. But it actually curls so much, it opens up on his right foot, and then he tries to hit it on his left. Brilliant ball by Trossard, and Calafiori just didn't read the spin at all. Max says, I still can't believe you idiots are keeping Carrick. Well, they know best, don't they? What a save! Corner! And again! Oh my God, keeper's made a great save. It's still in there. Arsenal, will they get away with it? It's going to be another corner. Oh my God, West Ham, keeper save and the post. First cross comes in, free header at the back. Trossard, good save, and then Trossard again against the bar. He can't believe it. Probably falls to the wrong person twice, really. One of the smallest players in an Arsenal shirt. He's unmarked on the back post. Heads it onto the keeper makes a great save onto the bar. Second header by Disasi. And then Trossard again heads it onto the outside of the post. Whew. Another corner. Constantine says, how have Arsenal not scored there? Well, goals from corners. Number 1, Arsenal. Here it comes. And it's over the bar from Saliba. Gabriel. Out of all the relegation sides, who will it hurt the most being relegated to Evan? Oh, Spurs, because of the outlay on wages, the stadium. They basically need to be a Champions League side, not a Championship side. So yes, it would hurt the Spurs the most. Ling says we're all preying on their downfall. Thank you very much for your super chats. James says, you are the bollocks. Me and my missus love you. Thank you very much, pal. Ten minutes gone. Arsenal already had a couple of good chances. I thought it was a fantastic assist. Well, a fantastic through ball by Trossard, and Calafiori just, Hi, Mark. As a Palace fan, says James, should we feel guilty for almost being happy to talk the 10 million from the Eze deal and resting the Arsenal game for final? What's the 10 million? James, I feel like there's a story here. Look, you've got to do what you've got to do. I mean, this time last week, we're watching Aston Villa throw 3 points at Spurs that they probably wouldn't have got if Villa weren't in Europe. But Villa then go and beat Forest comfortably and get into a Europa League final, and they're still in the top 5. It can be quite frustrating because, to be honest with you, from week 35 in the Premier League, you never know. You never know how you could have Man United versus Arsenal game week 36 and go, oh my God, it's going to be a great game. But by the time it comes round, United are mid-table and Arsenal have got a Champions League final coming up and they're 4th. So both teams don't really go for it. That's just the way it is. And it's the same with Palace. Palace's only opportunity to get into Europe is by winning the Conference League. So why would you go hell for leather against Arsenal 3 days before? You just don't. There hasn't been a goal, and I wouldn't worry about people saying goal because ultimately they will get blocked. And shot over the bar by Calafiori. I'm virtually second for second if you're watching my stream. There's no delays today. Yeah, so I wouldn't feel guilty if you're a Crystal Palace fan about throwing the final game of the season to Arsenal. You've got bigger fish to fry, certainly. If in Premier League, why are Big Six clubs falling apart? Arsenal, says Dominic. I don't think they are. Z says, can Gold Devils get into the top 4? We've got to win our last 2 games and hope results go our way. It can happen. We're going to give it a bloody good go. I mean, it would be a miracle for our season to do that, considering we were thrown together a week and a half before the season started. Yeah. Calzino says, start a talk show on That's Football. Good idea. How would that work? I like the idea of it. Have West Ham had any attacks? No. Not really. No. But there'll be, look, as I said, for West Ham, it might not be, you know, the most interesting thing, but as I said before the game started, if I was Nuno, I'd be, you know, slowing the game down, ultra competitive, ultra organised, and trying to make sure that we don't concede. You know, we ultimately end the game 0-0. No, we don't concede, and then we see what we can do. Because you're playing them one of the best, you know, this is a Champions League finalist and they're top of the league. You can't just turn up and go, yeah, we're going to beat them. You've got to work, you've got to earn that right. You've got to get Arsenal on the ropes first. So for the first hour, they've just got to frustrate Arsenal. They've got to start getting in Arsenal's head. And then in the last half an hour, when they're frustrated, you'll find more things start to open up. Charles, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much. If you look at against SDS on Friday, you know, we get the early goal, we defend really, really well, and then in the second half, you just start waiting for those opportunities that will come because they start making mistakes. But if Arsenal score early, it becomes a very difficult game. Tottenham, man, I still don't know which result is best, says Grand Prairie. I think if you're a Tottenham fan, a draw is probably your best outcome, looking at the bottom. So you've got a better goal difference. You'd still be above. You are still above them because that's as it stands. So a draw for you would probably be good because you're still ahead of them with your goal difference. And West Ham can only get to 43. So you've got Leeds and Everton at home where you'd look to get to 43 and you've got a better goal difference. So I still think a draw then maybe stops Arsenal winning the league as well. So I think for Arsenal, I think for Spurs, you probably do want a draw. What are West Ham's final two games? Well, they're not easy. Newcastle away, which will be very, very difficult, and Leeds at home, where, you know, the thing about West Ham is they're never guaranteed to win because they don't score enough goals. Charles, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much. Thanks for getting your badge in. Andy Atherton also says, help me, I don't know who I want to win. West Ham to help relegated Spurs or Arsenal to stop City winning the league. I'm edging towards Arsenal. That's a horrible thought. West Ham keeper clearly clearing balls like Manscaped, says Keith. Yeah, remember you can get your 15% off and free worldwide shipping with Manscaped. Links in the video description. Nice little assist there. Thank you very much. What's your thoughts on the Fabrizio news on Rasmus? Mark says not happening. I don't know what it is. As I say, I've sort of been off radar the last sort of 2 hours, so... Arsenal are in here, but Wan-Bissaka needs to have a big game. Manchester United to receive 44 million for Rasmus from next week on. Plan confirmed with obligation to buy. Edison remains on the list and contacts took place, but one of multiple options. Yeah, so Rasmus is going to go to Napoli, isn't he? Constantine says, is there a better midfielder than Declan Rice right now? Szoboszlai. I think he's had a very good season. Bruno Fernandes, obviously, he's going to get Player of the Year. I think, definitively, is there a better holding midfielder than Declan Rice right now? Look, I've got to say, I wasn't impressed by Declan Rice against Man City, which was their biggest game of the season. And I wasn't impressed with him against Bournemouth. But he's had a very good season. Why the Big Six clubs? Dominic, I don't know what you're talking about. You keep saying why the top Big Six clubs falling apart from Arsenal. Man City are second in the league and still could win the league. Man United are third after finishing 15th. Well, they're not falling apart, are they? You should have rephrased it. Why are Chelsea and Liverpool falling apart? So we've had 20 minutes here. West Ham so far so good. We mustn't dismiss the fact that there has been 2 decent chances from a corner for Arsenal, but so far so good. If you're Arteta and Arsenal, you do want that early goal. A draw would not be a good result for Arsenal. It would be back into Man City's hands. Which is why I think that Doku equaliser against Everton was so important last Monday. I know it was a bad result for City, but getting that last-minute equaliser was huge. So Trevor Brooking, match of the day. Mackenzie Celtic says SPFL looks like it's going to last game, 1 point in it. Yeah, but I think everybody knows Celtic will still win it. No one's won it outside Celtic and Rangers in since 1984. Ari says, dark horse for the World Cup. I think Japan quarter-final. I mean, I hope Japan do well. Somebody just said, Happy Mother's Day. If it's Mother's Day where you are, then that's nice. It's a goal! Oh! It is a goal! No! Oh my God. Is it going to be one of those days? Cross came in for Arsenal. It looked like it was going to go in. There was a West Ham defender who gets in the way. It's curling towards the goal. I think it's Mavropanos. And then they clear it away as well. Arsenal again from another set piece. Chaos in the West Ham 6-yard box. It's Mavropanos again. He's been brilliant the last few weeks. And then Diouf stops Saliba tapping it in. Heroic defending from West Ham. They're going to need a few heroes. Endgame heroes today for West Ham. They're going to need it. Rice, another good cross. Mark, I'm doing a play set in 1996 in the UK. I got to think of some clothes to wear and hairstyle. I know you were a legend back then. Any tips? Yeah, Adidas Gazelles on your feet. People used to wear white shirts a lot with like navy jeans. Definitely jeans in the 90s. And shirts. People used to wear shirts a lot as well. Solanke, Welbeck or Watkins for the World Cup squad. Just look at Oasis in the 90s, St. Jimmy, you'll be fine. Rob Monk says Solanke, Welbeck or Watkins for the World Cup. Definitely Watkins. I do like Welbeck, but Watkins definitely over Solanke. Backlash says I wouldn't mind having both Fernandes in the midfield next season for Man United. Chris says Farteta with the same outfit looking spiffy. Look, clearly Arteta wears the same clothes every match. I think we've established that now. There is no change in Arteta's clothes, just like his style of football. The only hope is that he washes it. Or it's brand new. What do you think? Do you think he washes it? Or do you think he's got about 20 pairs of those trousers and 20 of those half zips? Ben White down injured at the moment. It's Worldwide Mother's Day, says Turd. Not in the UK. We've had it. I think Ben White might be in trouble here. Knee. Small says just lose this game and win the next two. Yeah, but I think Spurs are going to win 2 of the next 3, so that would put West Ham down. They can't lose. Oh, just forgot about that. Yeah, looks in a lot of pain, Ben White. A bit like me, I've got a right headache. Oh, it's like a migraine behind my left eye. What have they got on the bench? What do we got? Bench-wise, Arsenal have got Dowman, Havertz, Hincapié, Madueke, Martinelli, Mascara, Zubimendi, Odegaard. So it'll be Mascara coming on, won't it? Oh no, they're bringing Zubimendi on. Lewis Skelly to right back. A little bit more attacking, isn't it? Putting Lewis Skelly at right back, I suppose. So be a bit annoyed if you're Lewis Skelly, though. You've sort of won your place in the midfield. Ben White gets injured and you're going to right back. But Ben White looking like he's got a bad injury there. So hopefully it's not too bad. I don't want him to go to the World Cup anyway. So from that point of view, but from an Arsenal point of view, important weeks ahead. So you'd hope he can be back. Not sure when Timber's back, actually. Who's your favourite Mexican players other than Chicharito, says Chris? I think that's the great thing about Mexico. They're always a good team in the World Cup, but you never really know who their players are. Who is taller, Mark or Arteta, says Rub? I don't know how tall Arteta is. Let's find out. 5'9", I'm taller. I knew it. I knew it. Jed says, certain things in life, death, taxes. Learn how to read. Certain things in life, death, taxes, and Arteta's pants. And Peter says, would you get Wan-Bissaka back if you could? Nah, I like Wan-Bissaka, but I'm not convinced he's a huge upgrade on what we've got. So Ben White's gone off, Zubimendi's on, which moves Lewis Skelly to right back. As someone who watched lots of Bayern, it's uncanny how similar Fernandes is to Kimmich. Whether he has the same mentality is a different question, says Matt. Well, yeah, keep an eye on Fernandes for West Ham, because I think there's a very big chance that West Ham are going to go down. So, you know, who's going to take a punt on him? Thank you, everybody who's tuning in. We've got nearly 15,000 of you. Please do subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Get involved with the channel. We're heading towards sort of 1.5 million, so get involved with That's Football. Subscribe, free to do it, and remember, doesn't matter who you support, you're very welcome here. You'd be very happy with this, though, if you were Nuno or a West Ham fan. Yes, Arsenal have had a couple of chances, but sometimes if you can ride the storm of chances, because everyone's going to get chances, of course they are, but if you can ride the storm of chances, it starts to make the opposition a little bit more nervous. I mean, look, Arsenal won't be nervous yet. They won't be nervous if it's 0-0 at half-time, but the longer it goes on, the more pressure they become under. And as I said, West Ham just need to be well organised. Ben says, what do you think of the negativity from United fans after a 0-0 draw away to Sunderland when we've already qualified for the Champions League? I think it's completely justifiable, Ben, because it's not about that, is it? It's not about qualifying for the Champions League. It's about giving this coach the manager's job and the football just being crap every week. And, you know, do we want this for the next 2 or 3 years? That's what it's about. Would you call up Jared Bowen for the England squad, says Lisa? No, I don't think so. Nice little bit of play there. Here's Diouf for West Ham. There's a switch of play if he can do it. And he's done it quite well. Wan-Bissaka's not going to keep it in, though. It's a shame. Bit of a breakaway for West Ham there. I think Diouf played the right ball. It's a good break for West Ham. I think he does play the right ball here. There's not really a better pass on at that point. And if he gets that right, Wan-Bissaka should probably control that. Penga says, I've got zero tactical expertise, but wouldn't West Ham be better off throwing the sink at them and maybe testing Arsenal's resolve, especially seeing Spurs probably get some result tomorrow? No, Pengas. If West Ham open up, they'll leave loads of space at the back and Arsenal will exploit it. I think you've got to grow into a game like this. You've got to respect your opposition. If they go 1-0 down, they will obviously have to play caution to the wind, but ultimately, West Ham and a draw isn't the end of the world. But they'll still have a plan to win the game. Declan Rice is at right back at the moment, apparently. Well, yeah, he is. I can see Lewis Skelly in the midfield. Zubimendi, Eze. Diouf's down on the left-hand side here. As well. I don't know why you put Declan Rice at right back. Well, considering this is the player that Arsenal fans were saying should be Player of the Year, I don't think you put your Player of the Year at right back in the game you need to win. I think it's a bit weird. I'm sure Declan Rice can do a job there, but I'd get someone else to do a job there and keep my best player in the midfield. Look, this was never an easy game for Arsenal. I think Arsenal were always expected to win it, and I think they will win it, and I think they are the favourites, but it was never an easy game. You know, West Ham are playing for their lives. That sharpens your minds. Arsenal, you know, just need to get that goal. Did you watch the UFC last night, says Lex? No, I didn't watch the boxing either. That'll be the next question. Do you almost feel that West Ham need to win, not draw? I think you've got to start with the draw, and then you've got to see if you can get the win. But what you can't do is lose. Free kick here for Arsenal, quite far out, very central. I don't think West Ham are necessary. I think a yellow card. I'm not sure that's a yellow card. Maybe. Borderline. Yeah, I don't know how good Arsenal are at actually scoring from this sort of different distance, actually. It's quite far out. We'll see. As he's looking at it. Declan Rice can hit a free kick, certainly. See what he does. God, how long does it take to take a free kick in the Premier League? This needs to be looked at. This needs to be looked at. It's too long. You know, we've been waiting. It was a simple, but it was a bloody shoulder barge. You gave a free kick. We've been waiting a minute and a half. It's fucking rubbish. I'm telling you now, this is what one of my biggest bugbears in the Premier League. The referee gave that foul a minute and a half ago, and he's only just blown his whistle for it. Get the fuck on with it. Why are we taking 90 seconds for a fucking free kick? It's like the NFL. Straight into the wall as well. 90 seconds of the game lost for that. Bullshit. Bullshit. Do you think Arsenal will bottle the league? It's way too early for that. I think the biggest issue you've got is that it's lovely by Diouf. Lovely by Somerville. Nice turn, bit of space, running at the Arsenal back four. Still Somerville. He's tried to go alone and he wants a corner and it's not going to get given. It was good play between Diouf and Somerville and maybe that's where they're going to get their most joy. Because obviously Ben White's gone off. Did look like a corner. Nah, not a corner. Not a corner. What am I talking about? There's no way that's a corner. No way. Goal kick. 9 minutes to go to after. So, well, this game has gone very quick. From an Arsenal perspective, speak to us. You're probably not very happy about that. It has gone very quick. Would you do joint watch-alongs, Mark? Well, if you lot wanted me to, I would. I mean, I like sitting down and watching a game with people. You know, I really enjoy doing it, watching like a match with Lars and all that. But I don't know. I just think like my companions have always been you lot. You are my companions, and there's a lot of people. Oh! Somerville. Oh, he didn't quite get there. And he catches Gabriel. He's going to get a yellow card for it, but it's a genuine attempt to win the ball. He's got to go for that. He's got to go for it. And Gabriel's okay. I tell you, that's a player I would hate to get injured. I think he's, in my opinion, Gabriel is Arsenal's player of the year. All the goals, all the clean sheets. And obviously he's going to be playing in the World Cup. And I tell you what, that was a connection by Somerville. But that's where a foul, to me, is a yellow card and you move on. It's nothing more than that. Mrs. just said, have you got a spare mouse? I don't know whether that's a metaphor for something. It's definitely not a mouse. It's definitely not a mouse. I mean, I don't know what it is, but it's not a mouse. So J.K. Worthing says, don't like Arsenal, don't like their players, don't like their managers. Their fans moan about everything. They think the Invincible season was the best thing ever. It was boring. They drew so many games. Says J.K. Worthing. It was a boring season, that season, to be fair. Good work there by Mavropanos and Gyökeres. A good old-fashioned battle. Burnley going to get a result at the Emirates. Trust me, says Ali. But yeah, that's Monday Night Football as well. That is Monday Night Football. I'm just glad it's not us. I think we're playing next Sunday, United. I don't know whether we're on the telly, but next weekend's fixtures are... yeah, well, the FA Cup final's on Saturday, isn't it? There's only one game. We're playing at 12:30 against Forest. There's a load of 3 o'clock games, which aren't that great. And then Newcastle West Ham at 5:30. And then Arsenal against Burnley at 8 o'clock. Yeah. Newcastle West Ham might be interesting if West Ham have still got a chance. A few super chats to catch up on. Nick P, thank you very much for your super chat. He says Rice at right back has about as much pace as Luke Shaw. It's a weird one. I know Lewis Skelly gives that midfield something, but Rice at right back, I'll stand by it. It doesn't look right. He's not quick enough, and Somerville will rinse him in pace if he gets in a one-on-one. It's a weird one. It's almost trying to be a little bit too clever, I think. I know Diouf from Czech leagues, and he's already very good on his age. I would love him at United. He would fit in perfectly, says Victor. And Andre says, if Arsenal play like this against PSG, they've got no chance of winning. It's not that they're playing poorly. It's simply not enough. Different games, though. You know, I never judge people like that. You know, you could watch England under Southgate play shit against a minor nation in a footballing sense, and then they'll turn up against France and play different. It doesn't work like that. I'm sure Arsenal will be very competitive in that final. Form says, since at least one promoted team will stay up this year, what's different from previous years when all 3 have gone right back down again? Great question. I think that the reason that Sunderland and Leeds have stayed up this season is because they were very good in the transfer market and they've been coached very well. And that's why they're going to stay up. Also, Wolves have been really shit. I think if Wolves had, pitched in at around 40 points, it would have been a little bit more interesting. But Leeds and Sunderland are away from that anyway, so that they've deserved to stay up. I think if you want to stay up in the Premier League, you've got to get 40 points. And Leeds and Sunderland have exceeded that. Sunderland did it because of an amazing transfer window. So if you're coming up, you either sit on your arse and do nothing and go straight back down, or you have an incredible scouting network where you bring in really good players like Sunderland did. It's a lovely cross in the box. West Ham having a bit of an attack. This is, I'll tell you what, I do know what I'm talking about, and a lot of you know what you're talking about. I said this before the game. How do West Ham get something out of this? They've got to work ridiculously hard, they've got to be compact, they've got to be organised, and they've got to grow into the game. And they're doing exactly that at the moment. And you know what? First 20 minutes, Arsenal had a couple of good chances, half chances, whatever. But as the game's gone on, Arsenal have become more reckless and West Ham have become more composed. They're growing into the game, which is exactly what you want to happen. Still a lot of work to do. Diouf is destroying Saka, says Max. Somerville always goes full Neymar against Man United, says K-Stone. Thank you very much for your super chats. Thank you everybody who's tuning in as well. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right hand corner. Mr. El Shamari says it's going to be a smash and grab this game. One team will score and then shut up shop. Yes, I think you're right. Is the referee losing control of this game? I can see a red. Two-stop start. I mean, look, you've got a team fighting for their lives and a team fighting for the title. There's going to be tackles. Stop being a boring idiot and let it flow. Here's Trossard. Been one of Arsenal's better players, really. That's in the keeper's arms. Here's Saka. Very excited about the World Cup, by the way. Don't know how anybody else is feeling about it, but certainly very excited. Wan-Bissaka. Good header. I tell you what, that's a very good header. It'll go for a corner now. This is where it's interesting for West Ham. And it's the Declan Rice right back that is exploited there. Cross came in. I mean, it would have been a wonderful header to beat Raya from here. But it's Wan-Bissaka down the wing. Whips the cross in. Diving header. Almost level with the penalty spot. He's got to get a lot of power on that to beat him. And he does. But it's a good save by Raya. But it would have been a great goal if that had gone in. Very difficult to score it. Corner. See what they can do. Looks good. Headed away, Gabriel. Still in there. Disasi! Oh, he was on the turn there. Tadibo. He needed to be on the turn, bro. Don't laugh at your own jokes. Probably a striker scores that. Not a centre-back. Get Diouf and sell Luke Shaw. It's so obvious, says Max. Who were the top 6 of the 80s, 90s per year point of view, says Stretford Ender. What? Who were the top 6 teams in the 80s and 90s? I mean, I don't remember most of the 80s because I was very young. But Liverpool, Arsenal, Man United. I don't know because I don't pre-Premier League. I don't really remember a hell of a lot. So I remember United. We finished second once in the late 80s. Arsenal and Liverpool used to win the title in the late 80s. I don't remember who used to finish 4th and 5th. It wasn't really a thing. When I was growing up, you were first or nowhere really. You know, if you finished second, it didn't mean anything because there was no top 4 Champions League spots. So. Villa used to be quite good in the early Premier League years because they were actually a rival for a title with United the first year that we won it. It was us or Villa. Leeds had won the league in the final year of the Division 1, first year of the Premier League. It was Villa, I think, who pushed us. So Villa were good for a couple of years. VX says, West Ham are looking good, need to readjust the right back. Light 45 says, how many more seasons do you see yourself doing Ballers League? I mean, look, I don't know whether there's going to be a season 4. Hopefully there will be. There's so much we want to do in season 4. You know, I love what Nico does with the yellow wall. I want to start getting a section in the ground every week so we can do the Ultras thing. We just haven't had time to do it this season. Obviously, I'd like us to actually get to play Goldbridge ball instead of this Mourinho ball, which I'm very good at because I'm tactically adaptable. But you know, there's a lot of things we want to grow and do. So I want to do a documentary each week as well because I think it would be good and interesting. So yeah, I think definitely another season. I'd love to do it, but let's see what this happens with this season. Half time here. It's 0-0, and to be honest with you, I don't think that's a bad half of football for West Ham. The stats say differently, obviously, and Arsenal did have a couple of chances in the first 20 minutes. But I think since the injury to Ben White and the strange move of Declan Rice to right back, I feel like West Ham have come into it. Baller League is right there, that by the way. You know when it showed the aerial? Baller League copper box is right next to West Ham. So, yeah, I think from an Arsenal perspective here, it's slightly concerning. the Premier League is very competitive. We know that. Arsenal have certainly not shown their dominance here in the last 20 minutes. I would still say Arsenal will find a way to score first, but they do need to score first in a game where, you know, let's not forget, looking at the top of that table, if Arsenal do not win this game, then and they draw it or lose, well, if they lose it, they're in big shit. But if Arsenal don't draw this game, if Arsenal don't win this game, if Arsenal draw and then it's Man City against Palace and they win by more goals, goal difference swings into Man City's favour again. And then we're back in a goal difference play out. Now, look, it wouldn't be the end of the world for Arsenal because they've got Crystal Palace, they've got Burnley. They could go and beat them both 5-0 and then they probably win the league. But it would be back in Man City's favour if they can go and smash Palace and then beat Bournemouth and Villa. So a draw for Arsenal hands it back into the balance. Arsenal have to try and find a win. It's going to be really compelling in the second half to see how they play it out in the second half. Because I'm just watching this Adidas advert for the first time. Because it's very interesting. Very interesting in that sense. West Ham, a draw for them. I mean, a draw for West Ham isn't the end of the world. I still think it puts them favourites to go down, but you take your chances. You're level with Spurs. You've got to go to Newcastle. You've got to beat Leeds at home as well. West Ham would need 6 points. Spurs would then need 6 points from 9, and then they'd have goal difference better than West Ham. So, look, West Ham drawing against Arsenal at full time isn't the end of the world. They somehow need to try and turn it into a win. If they were to win and Arsenal were to lose, Man City have got a firm hand on the title because they would just need to win their last 2. Goal difference doesn't matter at all. So a very interesting second half coming in here. Mick P says, your watch-alongs with you and the audience are unmatched. I think when you have other people in the room in a show, you tend to be more reserved, says Nick. Thank you very much. Yeah, I like doing it on my own. Frent says, Liverpool, Manchester United, Arsenal, United, Tottenham and Everton were the big 5 that created the Premier League, says Frent. Yeah, remember Everton won the league in 1986. Was it 1986 or 1985? I don't remember it, but thank you very much. Just a big shout out, by the way, to everybody who does support our Gold Devils Baller League team. Another incredible underdog win on Friday night against SDS. Second time this season we've done it to 0, which is virtually impossible in Baller League, considering the game changes and it's 6-a-side. To keep a clean sheet is remarkable. Tomorrow night we're playing top of the league. We've got a very slim chance of getting into the top 4, which is the finals at O2. So we need all your support. So please do tune in tomorrow. We're playing at about 7 o'clock. It'll be on my stream. If you watch my stream on the Mark Goldbridge channel, you will see when we play. You have my audio, pitch side and camera as well, with some very interesting stuff went on in the last game in relation to refereeing decisions. But if you want to get yourself down there and support us, I've put the link in the live chat as well. Just put Baller League tickets if you want to go and search it for yourself. You can get tickets still for tomorrow. We're playing top of the league NDL, so we need your support tomorrow. We're basically in the last chance saloon. Dropped too many silly points, but then again I think we've massively exceeded expectation considering we were thrown together a week and a half before this tournament started. We've had to beg, borrow and steal for players really to make it work, and you know, we need to win our 2 last games. We're unbeaten in our last 3. We've got half a chance, but we're playing the top of the league tomorrow. They're a very, very good team, so it'll be our biggest result ever. If you want to get yourself down there, click and get your tickets. Kenneth says Everton won the league in 85 and 87. Wow. I'll tell you what, that's recent really. I mean, it's not if you're 20, but it's not too far away for Everton, isn't it? It used to be a big, well, they are still a big club, but they used to be a club that could compete. General Kylian Mbappe says, I think as Premier League fans, we all want the English clubs to win their European finals. So we're all Palace, Villa and PSG coming up end of May. Thank you very much. I do want Villa to win the Europa League. I do want Palace to win the Conference League. I don't want Arsenal to win the European Cup. It's got nothing to do with Arsenal. I've never wanted Liverpool to win it. I've never wanted Man City to win it. I never wanted Chelsea to win it. And I don't want Arsenal to win it. I just don't. I think when it comes to European Cup, because Man United have only won 3, I just don't. And obviously Liverpool have won fucking loads. I don't really want anyone else catching us. I mean, Chelsea are only 1 away from catching us up. And United should have more. Like, we should have more, considering Sir Alex Ferguson won 2. I think he should have won at least another 1, possibly 2. We should have beat Barcelona in 09. We shouldn't have beat them in 11. And there was a few semi-finals. We should have got to the final. And the year that Porto won it, we should have bloody won it as well. It was great for Mourinho, but we should have won it that year. And we should have won it the year in Sir Alex Ferguson's last year when the referee bloody fucked up and sent off Nani. Metal Box, thank you very much for your super chat. Appreciate you. Do you think Arsenal are going to win this? If I thought Arsenal were going to win this easily, I wouldn't have even done a watch along. Because I just can't be. I didn't do the Man City game last night because I thought they'd win, and they did. I think this is. This was always going to be about whether West Ham could get to half time, as they are, and the game plan from Nuno, I must applaud it. It's difficult. It's difficult. This is a Champions League finalist. This is the top of the Premier League. They've kept them at bay. The only chances they've had have been from set pieces, and they've grown into the game. What West Ham need to keep doing is doing what they're doing. They don't need, in my opinion, West Ham don't need to start going for the win any time before the last 15 minutes. They just need to keep doing what they're doing and make Arsenal get more nervous. And to be fair, there is a weakness to exploit with Arsenal, and that is right back. I do not understand why he's put Declan Rice at right back. I don't get it, and maybe Arsenal fans can tell us. I really don't understand why you've put Declan Rice at right back, because it's actually weakened you. You've took your best player out of the midfield and you put him at right back. So you've weakened your midfield and you've weakened your right back position against Somerville, who's really quick. Lewis Skelly is quicker than Declan Rice. I would have put Lewis Skelly at right back and I would have kept Rice in the midfield. Or you could have kept Rice and Zubimendi in the midfield and brought Mosquera on. It's a weird substitution and it's lost the momentum for Arsenal. Before that injury, they were doing well. But you're going to get injuries, aren't you? Begging West Ham to win. Wan-Bissaka, though, what a player, says Ajit. I wish we sold Dalot over him. Had his faults, but compared to Dalot, what a player compared to Dalot, says Ajit. Sir says, where do you see Liverpool next season? Well, I did a video this morning on this channel, and I think that, you know, I want Slot to get a lifetime contract because I think Liverpool ain't coming back. Rochdale versus Boreham Wood. Penalties coming up, says Metal Box. Must be on the telly somewhere. Grimsby versus Salford's on. Don't know what the score was in that. I can't, it's not on the telly anywhere. Fancy not putting that on. I like a good penalty shootout. And this is That's Football. You know, we are about football. It's on DAZN. Oh God, I ain't got that. I ain't got straight. I don't watch DAZN. I can't watch it through my telly. Thanks for the update though. Thank you for your super chat, Metal Box. Thank you so much. Thanks for all the super chats, actually. Please do click and subscribe to the channel, bottom right-hand corner. A very big summer on That's Football. We started this morning, actually, with our first... well, that's actually our second transfer show. That's going to be a daily show once the season stops. World Cup, loads of watch-alongs. I think in the first 2 weeks, we've got something like 35 watch-alongs. So it's going to be... I'm very excited about it. Obviously, we've got the Champions League final, the FA Cup final on Saturday. Chelsea go against Man City at Wembley. Final 2 weeks of the Premier League. So loads going on. Get involved, doesn't matter who you support. And please do subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. We're currently only 200 subscribers away from 474,000. We could hit 1.5 million subscribers this summer, actually. So make sure you're sharing, getting involved, being part of the community. And... hopefully I'll see some of you down at Baller League tomorrow night. I won't be doing Tottenham against Everton because I will be at Baller League, but I'll probably watch it when I'm down there. But actually, I might be able to do it. I might watch it after our game on the stream. My channel tomorrow. Okay, let's come back to the live chat. Will Arsenal be feeling the pressure? Yes, they will. this is what, age is a benefit here, right? I have seen so many games like this, and I'm going to give you an example of it. 1999, Manchester United are going for a treble, right? We're beating Juventus against the odds, right? We're beating Arsenal in the FA Cup semi-final with 10 men. We're doing madness, right? We're doing absolute madness. But in the league, Arsenal are pushing us all the way, right? We go away to Blackburn. Blackburn are managed by our former assistant coach, Brian Kidd, who's gone there to take a manager's job. And they're in a relegation battle. We go to Ewood Park against a team in the relegation zone. We just need to win. We're in a bloody fight for the title. Arsenal are breathing down our neck. We just need to win. Boring draw. And you sort of look at it at the time and you go, how the bloody hell, when we need to win the league, are we drawing to Blackburn at Ewood Park who are going to get relegated? And I bring you back to the present. West Ham against Arsenal. I'm sure loads of Arsenal fans are going to be going, how the bloody hell are we drawing here? It's West Ham. But this is what happens. These relegation teams, they start fighting for their lives and you're fighting to win. But mentally, it's just like the nerves, whatever. So this is not and never was a foregone conclusion in my mind. And, the way modern football works, if Arsenal draw this, they'll all be there again going, Arteta out. I'll be going, not surprised. Not surprised, because at this stage of the season, nothing really surprises me, especially when teams have got something to play for. So, look, I'm sure Arsenal will be feeling a bit of pressure. If I'm Arteta, I've said what I'd do if it was Nuno. If I'm Arteta, I'm probably telling that story. And I'm saying, look, you're not in a unique situation to feel like you're getting stressed or you're getting nervous. This is a Premier League title. This club's not won a title for 22 years. You're right to feel nervous, but don't let that cloud your vision. Acknowledge that you're nervous. Take a deep breath. You're nervous because we're so close. Keep working hard. Salford have beaten Grimsby. Sorry. Salford beat Grimsby 2-1, but what a finish. Have Salford knocked Grimsby out then? I do quite like the Salford kit. Does a draw do anything for City? Mate, a draw for City puts it back into City's hands, in my opinion. Look at that league table. A draw, as it stands, Man City would be 3 points behind with a game in hand and only one behind in goal difference. So if they beat Palace 3-0 on Wednesday night, they're top of the league with a +2 goal difference on Arsenal. And it comes back to goal difference again. It wouldn't be over for Arsenal, and it wouldn't be in Man City's... Look, there we go. Here's Sky Sports with the bottle again, look. They're obsessed with that bottle. My girlfriend has a driving test. Wish her good luck, please, says Denzel. Good luck to Denzel's girlfriend. Would you rather Arsenal double or City win the Prem? Oh. I mean, it's Arsenal winning the Champions League for the first time. That's going to be very noisy. Also, I think if Arsenal won the double, they'd somehow try and make out that that's the biggest thing in world history. Forget knocking down the Berlin Wall or, the advent of penicillin. This would be the biggest thing ever. Even though the treble is better than the double, it would still be, there'd be some circumstance that makes it better. So it's a tough one. I want Arsenal to win the league. I don't want them to do the double because I think that would be a lot of noise. But I don't want Man City to win the league either. I don't know. I'm conflicted on that one. Thankfully, I don't have the power. I just want Arsenal to win the league and Man City to win not the league. That's what I want. Whether I'd want Arsenal to win the double over Man City winning the league, I think that might be a step too far for me, to be honest. Ajit says, for a striker, well, he's making the change now. Mascara's coming on. And he's took Calafiori off. That must be an injury as well. Ajit says, for a striker, would you sign a backup to Sesko or would you sign a proven striker or a more European experienced striker? Which would be better? I'd sign an experienced Premier League striker, but who that's going to be, I don't know. I'm very interested to see what Arsenal are going to do now, because Mascara's gone to right back. I think what he's done is, I don't know why he's took Calafiori off. Must be injured. So Lewis Skelly's gone to left back. Mascara's gone to right back. It's tactical. It's tactical, isn't it? He wants to keep Lewis Skelly on the pitch, and the only way he can do that is by putting him back to full-back, but he doesn't want Declan Rice to play at right-back. So you bring Mascara on at right-back, you put Lewis Skelly at left-back, and you take Calafiori off. Because I can't see how he could have kept Calafiori on and got Mascara on, because he would have had to take off Zubimendi. Because he doesn't want to take off Lewis Skelly or Rice. So therefore he has to take off Calafiori, doesn't he? We've worked it out. He just doesn't want to keep Declan Rice at right-back, which is probably not a bad idea. John T says, I've actually heard one Arsenal fan said that even if Arteta wins the Premier League, he should get the sack. Oh, yeah. Win something that Arsenal haven't won for 22 years. Definitely a sackable offence. I can't even see Declan Rice at the moment. Zubimendi, Eze, Lewis Skelly. That's a bit of a strange... I'm trying to figure their system out here. I can't see where Declan Rice is. Oh, there he is. He's sort of playing in the 10 at the moment. Zubimendi's definitely playing as the 6. I think Declan Rice, they're trying to get him higher up the pitch. Saka's been a bit quiet. I think fitness might be a thing for Saka anyway. Mascara to right back. MLS goes to left back. Rice in the midfield, says official JH. Because United are going to Bilbao. Says Stretford. Oh, mate. Me and Seb that day, all the way to school, all the way home. Follow. I just, you know, we've seen it all. We won the lot. We were just so up for it, and then we bloody lost. Adrian says, what do you think of Norway's World Cup chances? We haven't been in an international competition since 2000 and I'm buzzing for it. Mate, I'm looking forward to the World Cup. I know there's a lot of games, but, you know, Seb's got his Panini. I put it on Instagram today, at Goldbridge Mark. He came back from his haircut this morning and he'd popped into the shops with his mum and he came back with the World Cup Panini sticker book. And inside it, it's got like pictures of all the World Cup's mascots. And I said, I specifically remember going down to Cornwall on holiday, which was like a 4-hour drive. And my mum and dad bought me the Mexico 86 sticker book and some stickers to do in the car. And I remember that was my first introduction to travel sickness because I got travel sick. I said, I remember getting that book and I was about your age. I was actually younger, but I think I was about 6. I love the World Cup sticker books. Bowen! Straight at Raya. There you go, though. Those chances are there for West Ham. What's your go-to Chinese order, says Purple Burglar Alarm? I had, last night, we had... what did we have last night? We went out for Chinese. I didn't have a takeaway. I went down local Chinese instead and had it in the restaurant, which I think is always better. What did I have? Beef chow mein, sweet and sour Cantonese style chicken. Roasted vegetables with cashew nuts. Steamed prawns in garlic, and then crispy seaweed, which is like cabbage, and egg fried rice. And then we had crispy pancakes as well. Very nice. All washed down with a few tigers. Used to collect a lot of match attacks cards as a kid, says Charles. Artad said, should Arsenal give Odegaard and Martinelli another year or move on from both? They've both had poor years and they aren't good enough anymore. I don't know. I still think Odegaard's a very good player. He's had a few injuries this season. And he's only 27, Odegaard. I mean, I like Odegaard as a 10. I think he's so magnetic. But, you know, something's not been right this year, has it? Excuse me. It's a squad game, though. I think everybody's still... I think a lot of fans haven't evolved into the modern game that it is a squad game. And I think everyone thinks about their best 11. But you can't play a best 11 week in, week out. Misplaced pass there into Gyökeres, but good defending by Mavropanos. And Diop will get it as well. So West Ham will retain possession. Having a good game, Diop. But then he's given the ball away again, the second time. Good numbers back by West Ham, though. Beck, thank you very much for your super chats. Form says, who's your favourite United player and who do you think is objectively the best, assuming it's not the same player? Currently, Bruno's the best player. Who's my favourite player? You know, it's not even a modern phenomenon because it was only a few years ago when my favourite players were people like Martial and Rashford. I don't know that I have favourite players at United anymore. I don't think that they hit the standards that I would, you know, say that a United player is. So it'd have to be Bruno. And that's nothing to do with like winning titles or, you know, Class of 92 or Rooney or people like that. I mean, I really did like Rashford and Martial. I just don't think we have players good enough anymore for me to go, you're my favourite player. Because I just don't think the standards are at the level that it needs to be. So it'd have to be Bruno for me. You know, I do have hope about people like Mainu and Cunha and De Ligt and Dorgu, but at the moment I wouldn't say they're my favourite players because I just don't think they're at the level that we need. Bruno's the only one who does it. Vinny! Thank you very much. Arsenal probing, nice ball into Saka, but cleared away. That's another 8 minutes gone. Diop keeps it in and he wins a free kick. Is X down, says Adrian. Let us know in the charts. Szoboszlai is your favourite player. Very unlikely that Szoboszlai is my favourite player considering the shirt he wears. I just think he's been Liverpool's best player this season, and I think you put Szoboszlai in a Man City side or a Liverpool side, not a Liverpool side, or an Arsenal side or a United side, and I think he'd be, you know, he's a very good player. I think that's Liverpool's challenge really. He's probably going to be too good. Saliba makes a mistake. I don't know whether that ball had gone out. Well, it's a strange call there by the referee because there is no camera there, and you know. as he won't keep that in. Dark horse of the World Cup, Mark, says Louis. A lot of people asking about this. I mean, dark horse for me is always about context. I think if Norway got to a semi-final, or Mexico or Japan, that would make them a dark horse. So those teams would be interesting. I think that, you know, I'd love to see Austria do well. I love Ranić and the way they play, but, you know, it depends, you know. I haven't looked at and I will do my World Cup predictor, but at the moment, I haven't really looked at who you get when you go through the group. Because I like to save that a little bit closer to it. So it depends on pathways, doesn't it? You can't be a dark horse for the World Cup if Norway get out of their group and play France. You know, you'll be out. So you do need a little bit of a good pathway as well. West Ham are looking good here, you know. They're looking good for the point. It's just whether they're very well organised. And we saw them get did they get a point against Man City as well? I think West Ham's problem is when they need to win. They're like Gold Devils. We have this problem. When we're expected to win, we really struggle. But when we're the underdog, it just suits us. Saka over the bar. Eight o'clock show on the United stand, yes. I'm looking forward to watching Japan. Let me have a quick look here. Good play by Raya there. Lewis Skelly keeps it in. So I'm looking at the watch-alongs we're doing. So we're doing Mexico first game, and I do want to watch Mexico. Japan. Are we doing any Japan watch-alongs in week 1? Yes. First Sunday, 9 o'clock, Netherlands against Japan. I don't think we're doing game 2. Japan, Sweden, we're doing game 3. I don't know who else is in Japan's group then. It must be somebody crap if I'm not doing game 2. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. But look, there's a lot of domestic football to play first. Would you rather United win the Champions League or England win the World Cup? Oh, mate, easy United. I think up until the age of about 16, I would love to have seen England win the World Cup, and I still would. And I probably up till the age of 16 would have put England ahead of Man United winning the league, because United were winning the league all the time. But now, the fact that we haven't won it for so long, I'll put United over England. I still would like to see it, but I'd put United over England. It's like asking an Arsenal fan, would you rather see England win the World Cup or Arsenal win the Champions League? You're going to say the Champions League, aren't you, if you're a proper Arsenal fan? Good cross by Trossard. Good header away by Mavropanos. Now Declan Rice. Good cross. They're fighting West Ham. Saka. Good tackle. Got caught. Ref's not Not going to give it. Referee. This is controversial if Arsenal score. Definitely thought that was late by Saka. Goes out for a goal kick. Well, it's not going to matter, but I thought that was late by Saka. Korea winning the World Cup thanks to Son, says Grand Prairie. South Korea I don't know anything about. They have got some interesting players, but Japan I know more about because they've got some interesting midfielders that play in the Bundesliga like Sano and Fujita. Obviously, I think Endo will be back as well. And we saw what Japan can do against England in the March Internationals, so... Constantine says, I would have thought to have seen more from Arsenal. They have a league in their hands here. I don't understand the pragmatism. Well, watch them every week, mate. Carrick for United, but he speaks like the bloody Labour MP. Oh, Carrick's interviews are hilarious. Not even boring, just like you don't know what he's saying. He speaks like 3 paragraphs, and you know you need a sat nav. You don't know where he's going. Langford is having for tea a medium rare straight with peri peri chips. Sounds lovely, mate. I'd roast chicken for lunch. Don't know what I'll have for tea. Sunday tea. Saka. Rice. Still half an hour to go. I feel like Arsenal will get that goal. You know, I've just got... You know when you can predict the future? I can just see Arsenal getting that goal. West Ham heads dropping. Arsenal defending it out. I've seen that movie before. He gives the free kick to Arsenal. Of course he does. Rub says, please someone let Arsenal score. If they go trophyless this season, I have to give 50 memberships in this channel. Rice piling forward here. And he gets a very soft free kick. This referee is really, really... I mean... I'll repeat what I said. I thought that was a foul by Saka. Didn't give the free kick. Very happy to give a very similar free kick to Arsenal. I mean, it is a free kick, but I don't think it's a free kick if you've got a West Ham shirt on. The referee bleeds red and white. I don't think Hearts will win the Scottish League, no. Rochdale promoted. Justice over 100 league points as Metal Box. Venison burritos sounds absolutely lovely. Lovely, Real Slim Shaney. I haven't had venison for ages, but I've got to say I do like it. You know, Bambi can shut up. Diouf is match fixing. Just gave away a corner for no reason and gave up several times like Sunday League. Definitely bribed. Says Philip. I mean, that's a strong allegation, Philip. I don't think I've noticed that Diouf or any other player is playing like they've been bribed. West Ham have got a free kick. Arsenal won't be scoring from that. Trademark says, does Arteta deserve the sack if he doesn't win anything? Time for a bit of a stretch. We'll have a little walk. Oh, I've ever shown you this. I kept hinting to the Bundesliga. Oh, it'd be great to get a Bundesliga ball, being as we are sponsored by Bundesliga. Finally got it. So I'm well happy with that. I'm going to put it on me. What should I get rid of? I've got 3 Premier League balls. Let's go, let's remove you. I did like you, though. I did like this ball, actually. If anybody wanted it, I could sign it and give it as a giveaway. The Heat Map Premier League ball, which I think is the one they're using at the moment. It's a very good. I do like this. Is one of my favourite footballs. I've always loved footballs. You know why? Because you can kick them. No, but I've always liked footballs. It's a weird thing. You know, some people like collect weird things. I've always loved footballs because when I used to go to school a long time ago in the 90s, the person who had the football was like the person who had the ring in Lord of the Rings, because everyone wanted to play football at lunchtime, but it was always dependent on somebody actually bringing a ball in, which was quite a brave thing to do because, you know, you could lose it. So I always used to bring footballs in, and I'd go into town with my paper money and always buy good footballs, like a good mitre. So I've always had a good appreciation of a football, and I do really like this with the heat maps. If you know, you know. Definitely modelled it on heat maps. Can't wait till the season's over, actually, because I'm going to go out in the garden and smash it. Substitutions coming on. West Ham have made a substitution, but more importantly, a double substitution for Arsenal here. Martinelli and Odegaard coming on. They need a spark, and Odegaard probably going to come on for Eze, I would have thought. That's just my thoughts. Got nearly 20,000 people watching. Please do share the video. I think the numbers are going up the longer this game is going on. 25 minutes. Arsenal need a goal. Point for West Ham. Maybe not quite enough, but certainly doesn't relegate them. Arsenal, a point opens the door to Man City. It really does. The title race is back on, and it's back in Man City's grasp because they both have the same points, and it comes down to goal difference. But obviously Man City have got a game in hand, so they get a first dibs at that. You see, Arteta's getting more animated now. He knows they need to find this goal. So Eze went off, and I think Trossard came off. Oh no, Zubamendi went off. Double substitution for him. That's because he's going more attacking, isn't he? Havertz for Gyökeres as well. Todibo gets a yellow card. I don't know whether that's a yellow card. I think the referee's been a bit overzealous with the cards, to be honest with you. Is Havertz on as well? I don't know whether I got that right, because Gyökeres is still on. Get the lineups right here. Havertz came on for Zubamendi. Odegaard came on for Eze. Martinelli didn't come on at all. Sorry, it wasn't Martinelli, it was Havertz. So Havertz came on for Zubamendi, and Odegaard came in for Eze. Pablo came on for Castellanos for West Ham. But it's another free kick for Arsenal. Lisa says, speaking of footballs... Well, hold on, let's have a look at this free kick, Lisa. Arsenal want a handball here. They'll definitely appeal for it. Rice puts the cross in. There was a lot of Arsenal fans there's a lot of Arsenal players appealing for that, so I would suspect that that will get appealed and looked at by VAR. The referee gives a foul here. Look at this. They're right around the referee. I'll reserve judgment. Ball's on the floor. No. Never a handball. You can't do anything about that. He's got no clue where the ball is. No. No. Never a handball. That would be ridiculous to give that. Speaking of footballs, do you remember the one in the World Cup that spun like crazy and all the players complained about it, says Lisa? Was that 2010? Yeah. Dip says, I remember getting hit in the face from a crusty old ball during lunch football. Yeah, no, it's not been given. The Jubilano ball, that was it. Jubilani, yes, Rashid, well done. Yeah, look, no issues with Arsenal moaning and trying to get it, but it would be ridiculously harsh. He has got no idea where that ball is, and as soon as he does, he puts his hands out the way, so he can't be given a handball for that. I used to love playing Kirby, Lou. They need to bring it back. It was a brilliant game. Was that the one where you threw it at the curb, and if you caught it, you went halfway? I can't remember the rules of it, though. You threw the ball at a curb. So you stand on each side of the road, you have a ball, you throw it at the curb, and if it hits the curb perfectly, it bounces back to you, you catch it, and you get a point. But then I think, and then you go again, and you can get 2, 3 points, first to 10, then you're one set up. But there was a version of the game where if you caught it, you went to the halfway into the road as well, which was dangerous. But Diouf down the left-hand side. He's got to look at the right time to cross this. And it was a good cross, and it's Declan Rice who clears it for a corner. If you hit both curbs, you win instantly. No, you throw it. Don't kick it. Did you skip lunch to just play football straight away? No. We'd run up to the dinner queue, push our way to the front. Not when we were first years. Chips, beans and a sausage, and then straight up to play football. Oh, the ball's going to stay in there. 20 minutes to go. This is getting tense. Please score, West Ham, says Ash. Riot says, remember me, Slot's getting the sack in the summer. Could happen. Could happen. Is Bowen down the right-hand side. Probably better off playing for a corner here. Arsenal under a little bit of pressure. Hi, Mark. Do you think Arsenal will be more attacking in the Champions League final? How do you see the Champions League final playing out? Your thoughts? Keep up the great work, says Ryle. No, I think Arsenal play the way they play. I mean, they've not been particularly attacking here, have they? They need to win the game, but it's not been... I mean, it's not all-out attack, but I wouldn't even say it's attack. I think what they've tried to do is be compact, pragmatic, and win the game. There's nothing different to Arsenal here, and I'm sure some people, if Arsenal don't win, will be, critical of it, but it's the way they've played all season. I mean, there was a time in the season where I was like, they need to be more on the front foot, but they don't play that way. It's not who they are. So, if this was Man City, they would attack a lot more because that's what Man City do, but Arsenal are not really about that. But that's a lovely cross. Gyökeres over the bar. Don't know how good a chance it was. It was a good cross by Saka. Looked to me like he had a lot of work to do. Lovely cross. No, he's headed it wrong, to be fair. Come on, Hammers, says Thesp freely. Thank you, pal. Arteta can't stop tucking himself in. That's because he's nervous. I still think Arsenal will get that goal. Trossard, Havertz. I don't think there's an Arsenal player that typifies Arsenal. Oh, what a ball into Saka. Keeper's there, though. If he controls that better, he probably slips it in the bottom corner. He would have been offside anyway. I don't think there's a player that typifies Arsenal's pragmatism more than Havertz as a striker. I just find Havertz really... There's no doubt he's a good player. I just find him really boring to watch. Like some players, you get excited by them. I just always have found Havertz really boring to watch. West Ham overhits the cross, Diouf. But it'll go all the way over to Wan-Bissaka. Tell you what, I wouldn't rule out West Ham getting a goal. This is the time now. Remember we were talking about it before the game. If you're West Ham, you've just got to work really hard, stay in the game, and then last 15 minutes, you can start to have a go a little bit. Corner. And they're doing... This is going perfectly for West Ham at the moment. Corner. "15 minutes to go. Arsenal Hearts will be going like that. I've been in this situation so many times, albeit not for a long time. Cross comes in. Raya is there. And Arsenal clear their ground. Not clear the ground. Clear their box. I'll tell you what I watched last night. Classic. I'll tell you in a minute, because West Ham are on the attack. Coming more and more into the game, West Ham. Cross comes in, headed away. Making them work a little bit. It's, you know, the interesting thing about this game, it's not like bombarded Arsenal pressure, is it? And it's going to be a yellow card for an Arsenal player here. Saka. Well, the ramifications for this title race are huge. And we might look back on this next 15 minutes at both ends and say those were the moments that decided it. Whether it be relegation or the title. West Ham whip a crossing. It's not very good. Would you take Diouf at Man United? You know what? You know what? There are some people that want Diouf at Man United. I think he's quite raw. I think he's good, but there is a bit of a clumsiness to the way he plays. I don't know that he's a top level for... Fernandez gets it back! What a miss! What a miss! Why did he take an extra touch? What a miss! I can't believe it! He does so well. Plays the 1-2, gets it back, hit it there, took a touch. Oh, he took a touch. Why did he take a touch? Hit it now. Hit it now. Don't take an extra touch. No, that's the one. That is... Why did he take an extra touch? Nuno can't speak. Arteta's face. He can't believe it. That was the moment, people. Why did he take an extra touch? Oh, my God. Arsenal. Whatever happens, you could have been losing 1-0. It's a big save by Raya, absolutely. You know, you've always got to give credit to the goalkeeper. It's a massive save, but you also have to say, in that situation, you've got to score. And lovely feat by Somerville, and that'll be a booking for Mosquera. Thanks everyone who's tuning in, by the way. Got nearly 22,000. It's a very tense last 10 minutes here. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Mark, remember when it was West Ham who blocked Arsenal a few seasons back from getting the league? Says VX. Thank you, pal, for your super chat. Well, Arsenal are definitely feeling the pressure at the moment. Will West Ham get a chance like that? Will Arsenal get a chance like that? Let's go West Ham, says Sam. Would you consider Wan-Bissaka a United legend? No, because I'm not stupid, Snoopy. What's for dinner? I'm having Declan Rice and curry, says Parker. Come on, Hammers, says Thesp. West Ham putting the ball into the box. That's going to go out for a throw-in to Arsenal. I still can't believe that miss. Here it is again. We don't need to see it again. He just takes an extra touch. One out the feet and toe punt it now. Oh, yeah. It's a great save, but he should have took it quicker. He needs to hit it there. Bottom corner, toe punt. You see? It was open. I don't know why he didn't just hit it. It was an easy finish without taking the touch. Arsenal trying to lose so Spurs get relegated to Grand Prairie. I don't think Arsenal can afford to lose. Madueke's on for Saka. Ignoring the miss, I would absolutely take Fernandes at United. He's a good player. It's a lovely ball into Madueke. This could be Arsenal's moment. No, not good enough with the cross. Mr. El Shamari says, Bundesliga watch. Heidenheim are winning. They're level with Wolfsburg and St. Pauli on 26 points. St. Pauli play Wolfsburg next. If they draw and Heidenheim win their last game, they'll stay up. Interesting. We've got that final day live on this channel, actually, next Saturday. Mark, how do you think City's remaining fixtures against Palace, Bournemouth and Villa? These are hard games as well. Do you agree, says Ryle? I think the Bournemouth game will be very hard. I think Villa will be... Well, Villa are managed by Emery. He doesn't want Arsenal to win. Lovely ball, Havertz. This could be the moment. Oh, the cutback goes to Soucek, who clears it. If that goes to an Arsenal shirt, I think that's a goal. Lovely ball by Odegaard. What a ball by Odegaard, and he's cooking now. Havertz. Eight minutes of normal time. Arsenal haven't created that clear-cut chance. I'm sure they will. Odegaard, brilliant feet. Into the box, lays it off. Trossard, goal! There it is! There it is! There it is! I said it would probably happen. It's horror for West Ham. Only a few minutes after that big chance for Fernandes. But it's Odegaard pulling the strings. Brilliant bits of play by Odegaard. It drops to Trossard and he's put it in the back of the net. You have to feel bad for West Ham, but they had their chance. They didn't take it. A costly miss by Fernandes. And Arsenal don't take that chance. Don't take that miss. They put it in the back of the net. Big goal for Arsenal. Huge moment in the title race. I feel if they win this game, they win the title. And it's a huge goal for Arsenal. Odegaard has made the difference. I don't think we can ever underestimate how bad a miss that was by Fernandes. I mean, even Arsenal fans know it. Arteta couldn't believe it. But look at this by Odegaard. Lovely probing run. Gets it back from Rice. Has a look. Lays it off to Trossard. Bang. Bottom corner. Through the crowd. Yeah, a bit of a deflection, but... That's a huge goal. City fans will know that as well. Arteta knows it as well. West Ham are going to be heading down as well. Big goal for Spurs. Do you celebrate that as a Spurs fan? Yeah, Odegaard's been fantastic since he came on. Just before that, he played a lovely ball into Havertz. Yeah, as it stands, well, Man City can't catch Arsenal if they keep winning. And with only Burnley and Palace left, I think this was Arsenal's hardest game. Nag says could be the most important 10 minutes of the season. For West Ham, I think this relegates them, to be honest. It's not over yet, but... Spurs win tomorrow, 4 points clear with 2 games to go. West Ham have got to try and get a point here. That miss. I just don't know why he takes an extra touch. Maybe Fernandes wants to sign for Man United. Maybe he saw that chance and went, I don't want to stay up. I want to sign for United. That's what Doris just said. It was a massive miss. I don't know why he did it. Look, it was a massive miss because you look at Arteta's reaction and he knows it's a massive miss. It's not won yet. Defend with our lives, says True Gent. Fernandez miss might have cost them Premier League survival, says Kylian Mbappe. Odegaard is playing so beautifully. Insane passive, says Rajaf. Could be the most important. Done that one as well. Thank you very much. Well, I suppose it's indicative of West Ham's problems. I mean, even when you look at the bottom half of the... when you look at the bottom 10, I mean, one of West Ham's biggest problems was going to be their goal difference is horrific. And the reason that their goal difference is horrific is not really because of how many they've conceded. It's how little they've scored. They've only scored 42 goals this season. Actually, they have conceded a lot of goals, 62. They've scored less than Tottenham and Leeds, and they've conceded a lot more as well. Look, I'm sure Marianakas will be relieved as well. He sacked Nuno, and there was a time where it looked like Forest might go down and West Ham would stay up, but in the end... Tempers are flaring. I think look, from West Ham's point of view, you're playing the Champions League finalist, the #1 team in the Premier League. I think they've played well. I thought they played well against Brentford last week, but they haven't put the ball in the back of the net. You know, they lost 3-0 to Brentford last week and they played well. They haven't scored in the last 2 games. You can't stay up if you don't score. True Gent says Raya is by far the best goalkeeper in the world. Yeah, I think you have to give huge credit to Raya for the save. He should have scored, but... Mercer says, to be honest, I don't see Tottenham winning their next 3 games. I do. I think De Zerbi has sorted them out. Who's he sending off? This ref's a dickhead. You told me to fuck off so you can go. Sending off an assistant coach for telling the referee to fuck off. Come on, mate. Get in the real world. We know why he sent him off, because I read it there. The assistant coach told him to fuck off. What the assistant coach will have done is said, referee, that's a bad decision, fuck off. I mean, come on. Is that a La Crusoe mug? It is, yeah, I got them for Christmas. Thanks for all your super chats today. And please do subscribe, bottom right hand corner. Don't forget to support us tomorrow night, Gold Devils, Baller League. It will be on Sky, it will be on YouTube, and it will be on my channel. Always watch my channel, though, because when we play, they have me mic'd up and a camera on me on the touch side, so you can see the game, and then I'm in the bottom corner. So tune in for that. I think we're kicking off at about 7 o'clock tomorrow night, so it'll be before the Tottenham-Everton game. Tottenham-Leeds game. Fantastic result for Arsenal. I did say it though, didn't I? I was saying it all half. I've seen this movie before. I think this has got an Arsenal goal and a 1-0. Oh, we've all seen this movie a lot this season, to be fair. But I think that's a great comment by Nude. The people. I remember when I was on the Ben Foster podcast, and it was Watto, the keeper. Ben Foster was the keeper, and they were all moaning about Arsenal getting rid of Ramsdale for Raya. And I said, this is just British bias. Raya's a better goalkeeper. He's better with his feet. He's a better goalkeeper, and that's why Arteta's done it. And the media, nobody would have it. Ramsdale, why are they doing that to Ramsdale? They've done Ramsdale dirty. What's Ramsdale now? Backup goalkeeper at Newcastle. What's Raya now? One of the best goalkeepers in the world. It was a decision that so many people were against it. And now, like many things, it gets forgotten how many people were against it because it was an absolutely brilliant decision. Are you live at 8 o'clock? Yes, we're live on the United Stand. Sunday Night Live at 8 o'clock, yes. And I'm not saying that, you know, Ramsdale's a horrific goalkeeper and he maybe would have saved that. But I think across the season, the decision was absolutely the right thing to do. Pengas says, the most anti-football champions of my lifetime. Well, they've done it. Done it the way they've done everything, haven't they? Another clean sheet. A 1-0 win. You know, I've said all along, I don't think many people are going to respect Arsenal winning the league. But I don't think many Arsenal fans are going to give a shit about respect. It's about winning, isn't it? And I think a long time ago, Arteta decided he just wants to win the league. Mario Franco says that Fernandes, Tchouameni and Stiller would be a dream. Yeah, despite the miss, I think he is a good player. 6 minutes added on. West Ham throwing it into the box. Strong by Gabriel. Hard to see a way back now. Look, somebody just said, why aren't you stressed? I predicted that Arsenal would win the league before a ball was kicked. When Liverpool were favourites, although that's how long ago I predicted that Arsenal would win the league. So, of course, there is a part of me that, you know, I'd rather Arsenal win the league over Man City anyway. But my Premier League predictions video will be out. Reaction video will be coming out soon. There is no goal. It's going to get like that in the live chat. Just ignore it. There is no goal for West Ham. They haven't even got the ball near Arsenal's goal. You will get fake scores. It's just what people do. 3 minutes to go. And Arsenal, it's gone for a throw-in. Sand says, Man United must buy Somerville and Fernandes. It's going to be very difficult for West Ham to even create a chance in these last 3 minutes. Remember, this is Arsenal, the best defence in the world, and they boot it all the way into the West Ham half. And Gyökeres up against the goalkeeper, throw-in to West Ham. Two minutes left. Trouble is, West Ham are going to ping long balls into the box. Should have left it for Bowen. Should have left it for Bowen. Wilson. Well, it's Callum Wilson. He's always going to shoot, but he had Bowen. Watch this. Header down to Wilson. Well, to be fair, maybe it wasn't going to drop to Jared Bowen. It's a big block by Gabriel. Goes for a corner. West Ham corner. Keeper's dropped it. It's in! It's in! It's over the line! It's a goal for West Ham! It's Callum Wilson! It's well over the line! Oh my God! What a moment! What a moment in this Premier League season! Corner! Arsenal are moaning about it. You can forget about it. You ain't getting a bloody foul from a corner. You've been at it for years, you cheats. No way, no way. Arteta wants a handball. Maybe that's something, but you're not getting a push. You're not getting a push. West Ham have scored. Massive moment. Massive moment. Arteta's going on about hands. Well, I don't know. I genuinely don't know. Huge moment here. I can't see a handball. I can't see a handball. I can't see a handball anywhere. Keeper jumps. No. There's nothing there at all. Oh, shut up. You're not having a foul for that, Raya. Arsenal have been doing this to goalkeepers all season. Any Arsenal fan knows that's not a foul. That is a goal. That is a goal for West Ham. Checking for a possible foul. No way. No way. You can't rule this out. Arsenal have been doing this for 18 months. You cannot give a foul for that. You cannot give a foul for that. They've literally been doing this for 18 months. You cannot let Arsenal off with a foul when they've been doing this for 18 months. This would be hypocrisy. They cannot give that as a foul. I reckon they're going to give it as a foul. I reckon they might give it. What a moment. You know, I wish I'd said this before the game. I think it's going to be a foul. Oh my God. He's gone to VAR. I think this is a disgrace. Absolute disgrace. You know, I want Arsenal to win the league, but that's a joke. But that's shocking. 18 months they've been barging goalkeepers. I think that's a disgrace. I think that's a disgrace. I absolutely do. I want to run a poll. Is it a foul? Yes or no? It's such a big decision. Such a big decision. You know what? I do think, can I just say this? I do think it's a foul, but the PGMOL changed the rules on this when James Trafford got fouled by Luton. So I do think it's a foul, but we've not had fouls for this for 18 months. So I genuinely do think it's a foul, but it hasn't been a foul for 18 months. He's got to give the goal, surely. It's too controversial. No, he's ruled it out. That is wrong. PGMOL are a disgrace. They started this 18 months ago when you could foul goalkeepers. And now they changed the rule on the last game of the season. Absolute controversy. Absolute controversy. It's a disgusting way to win a title. And it's a disgusting way to relegate a team. It's absolutely disgusting. And I can't believe a Premier League title is going to come down to a decision like that. Whether it's right or wrong, I think it's disgusting. It's absolute shithousery. How many got... You know what's going to happen tonight? There's going to be a raft of clips of Arsenal scoring goals where they fouled the keeper. This season, where they've barged the keeper and they've scored goals, there's going to be about 10 of them this season, right? And they're going to win the league now, benefiting from something that they've been doing all season. It just leaves a nasty taste in the mouth. It's wrong. And I want Arsenal to win the league over Man City. But I'm not an Arsenal fan. I'm a football fan. And that is wrong. The PGMOL are a fucking disgrace. They're an absolute disgrace. It's bang out of order. And look, I'm not... Arsenal fans, I want you to win the league. But that's wrong. I'm not an Arsenal fan. I just want you to win the league over City. But I don't want you to win the league like that. That is bang out of order. It's wrong. You know it's wrong. And you know that you have done that all season. All season to goalkeepers. You've fouled them all the time. And you're going to win the league because your goalkeeper got fouled. It's wrong. Really wrong. Uh, 68% say is it a foul? No. 32% say yes. That's got to be the final whistle. We've had well over 6 minutes. Well, it's going to be interesting match reaction. The final whistle goes. What a horrible way for a game of football to end. Unless you're an Arsenal fan. Huge controversy. Huge controversy. There's nothing West Ham can do about it. Arsenal won't care. And why would you care? I told you this referee would fuck this game up as well. There is a tweet on my timeline an hour ago where I said, ref is losing control, can see him ruining it. Wow. Wow. Absolutely stunning. I mean, oh. You think about the Fernandes miss, the Trossard goal, the West Ham goal. I mean, Arsenal have won the league. They know they've won the league. They've won the league now. And you can't blame Arsenal. I'm blaming the ref. I'm blaming the PGMOL. I'm blaming the inconsistency. Arsenal don't make the decision. VAR makes the decision. The referee makes the decision. This is not Arsenal's fault. If this was Man United, I'd be saying it's a goal. I've got no problem with Arsenal. This is the PGMOL, and this is inconsistency at a point where you're sending a team down and you're giving someone else the title. And you know as well as I know, Arsenal have been doing that to goalkeepers all season. All season, they're barging goalkeepers. They're making runs. They're blocking goalkeepers off. And I think that's the thing where the PGMOL need to answer a question. Because we all know it's a foul. We can see the arm on Raya, but we all know that you don't get a foul for that. These things happen every bloody game and it's not a foul. So why is it suddenly a foul now? I know it's a foul, but I also know it doesn't get given most weeks. I've seen Arsenal defenders barging goalkeepers out the way and this, that and the other, and it's a goal. So why is it suddenly a foul now? That's the problem. Anyway, I'm going to go and do the match reaction. I think Arsenal have won the league, but at what cost? Thanks everyone for watching. I'll speak to you all in a bit.